Hey everyone, welcome to the Jill Lublin Show. I'm so excited you're here, and you are going to be happy you're here today because we've got a fantastic guest, Dr. Terri Levine. And do you know that she's been named one of the top 10 coaching gurus in the world and the top female coach in the world? I'd say that's pretty big. She is a business consultant, and she's been assisting businesses worldwide to create more impact, influence, and income. She's a keynote speaker, a popular TV personality, and host of the Digital Marketing for Coaches and Consultant with over 40 years of business experience. So you're going to want to listen up and open your ears. Welcome, Terri.
Thanks, Jill. I appreciate it. I'm glad to be here and hopefully can create some value for folks.
Absolutely. Well, I know you for many years, and I know all you do is create value. So I'm just so glad you're here. And I know one of your specialties is something you call reverse marketing. Will you explain what that is?
Yeah, that is one of my favorite topics to talk about, and I've authored quite a few books on it. So reverse marketing is having your audience raise their own hands and let you know that they're interested. And it is the opposite of the way most people are doing business. People do business very transactionally. They hunt for prospects. They advertise for prospects. They slide into people's DMs. They do all of these things. And their goal is, let me get a prospect. Let me get a prospect. It's very transactional. In the way that we do reverse marketing, it's literally transformational. It's getting someone to pay attention and to decide that what you have might be of interest to them. And then they raise their hand and they come to you. It's a very different way of doing business. Just in my company, Entrepreneur, we have about 19 hand raises every single day organically. So the reason we're successful is we're never looking around going, where am I going to get a prospect? They're raising their hands. Does that make sense?
Well, how much easier is that, right? No hunting involved, and no people were harmed or hurt in the process.
Correct. And it's a heck of a lot of fun just to wake up every day, see who's raising their hand, take a look at their social media, their website, really ask, can we help them? And then my team to have a meeting with them to see if, in fact, we can help them. And if we can, we'll extend our hand back to them.
I love that. Well, would you give me an example of reverse marketing? And so people can really have an illustration of it would be wonderful.
Okay, that's a good idea. So I'm going to give you two because I want people to really open up, be curious and creative. One is on my main website, entrepreneur.com. No matter what button you click, it is going to take you to a free assessment. And it's an assessment that you do all by yourself, just takes a couple of minutes, as long as you're honest about your business, sales, marketing, operations. You then get a customized PDF showing all the areas that you're really good at. Keep on those areas of brilliance. And then it gives you the areas that need improvement as well as specific ideas to implement. Once somebody takes that quiz, what they're basically doing is raising their hand and saying, I'm interested in seeing how my business is doing. That's the kind of prospects we work with. That's number one. Number two, once they take the quiz, it says, would you like to review your quiz and see if we have any more ideas for you? If they raise their hand and say yes, we reach out. If they don't, we don't start bugging them and following up. So that's one example. And we have about 9 people take the quiz every day. The second example is every 2 to 3 months, I run a masterclass. I just came off of a masterclass that just ended 2 weeks ago. We have about 200 people in the masterclass. All I do is for an entire week, create massive value, give away my best training, my best teaching. And at the end, I make an offer and basically say, hey, if you're interested, just raise your hand and let me know. Of the 200 people, I only can take 10 of you, which is true. And every single time we have sold out, we do anywhere from $68,000 to $250,000 during that week. And only the right people raise their hands. So those are 2 examples. Does that help crystallize it a bit?
That helps a lot. And what I'm hearing is what you're looking for is people who are already interested. You're not selling to them per se. You're just asking them to, raise their hand and indicate that interest. And then there's follow up, right? From you. I love the approach. I think it's very simple and yet deceivingly simple, right? And I know you have something that you call the conversion equation formula. How does that fit into here? Would you explain that?
Yeah, that's a really good question because they go together. So, one of my best-selling books is called The Conversion Equation, and it is literally mandatory reading for every business that I get involved with because it really is a step-by-step process of how to do reverse marketing. So, it's a four-step formula. The conversion equation is truly an equation. Step number one is called interrupt. And this is what most people don't do very well. So, interrupt, if you think about it, we're scrolling on social media, we're scrolling through email, we're constantly looking at things, and our brains are in downtime. That means we're not really paying attention. It's like when you drive a route that you've driven before and you're like, I don't even remember driving it. Have you ever done that?
Yeah.
Me too. That's because your brain's in downtime. It doesn't have to be highly focused. So, what we need to do for step number one of the conversion equation is interrupt people and call them out. So, where they're the right audience, they'll pay attention. I have a client right now, for example, and she works with moms who are having pregnant moms who are having back pain. And so, everything that she does, her headline is, "Are you a pregnant mom with back pain?" So, if you're
Which is
not,
probably all of them, right?
which is all of them. If you're pregnant, you have back pain. You stop paying attention. If you're not pregnant, you're not a mom, you don't pay attention and it calls out the right audience. So step one is interrupt. Step number two is now that you've interrupted them, you need to give them a bit of information because you have their attention. They're now in uptime. They're like, oh, this could be for me. You quickly have to give them information, which could be a piece of advice, a piece of data. She has data that 78% of women will experience back pain during their pregnancy. So she's interrupted them and now, ooh, she gave them valuable information. Step number three is now you educate them. And you educate them by teaching them something. So she could be teaching, and we just did a video on this. She could be teaching this one exercise that she has that instantly, she calls it her instant back pain reducer. Instantly will get someone out of back pain. So immediately she goes right into educate. And then finally, we end with a no or low risk offer. That's where you basically say, I'm extending my hand. You can, whatever it is, download the PDF, get the free template, go to my free masterclass, watch my webinar, join my Facebook community, whatever you have next. The best way to do it is no or low cost. So it's interrupt, inform, educate, and offer.
Wow. Well, what I'm hearing from this is lots of value. What I'm also hearing is it's not about selling. It's really about creating value for the customer, potentially the potential customer, so that they're really just saying yes to you, right? And I know you've been doing this a long time. Can I ask you what's do you think is the biggest mistake that most people are really making?
I think it's twofold. I think mistake number one, and it's the reason most go out of business, is they're undercapitalized. You wouldn't open a restaurant and say, well, I don't have enough money to hire a cook. I don't have enough money for staff. I can't pay the rent. I can't afford the food. I can't buy the refrigeration. Yet people go into the service industry with no budget
Hmm.
and they tell them to spend money on something, right? Even when we write our books, it takes marketing. No one buys your books unless you do some marketing. And we turn to people and say, well, you need to have a marketing budget and you need to be promoting. It's like, well, I don't have the money. Well, if you're in business, you need to have the money. So that's number one, undercapitalized. Number two is, and this is really sad to me, is people are running all over trying to figure out the marketing. They're following what everybody else is doing. They're assuming that if this worked for Frank Kern or whoever, that worked for Russell Brunson, that's going to work for me. Well, I can tell you right now, I love Frank Kern. I've been friends with him for years. I am not him. I don't speak like him. I don't think like him. My audience is not the same. So stop imitating all of this marketing and start doing something authentic, which is literally, I wear a bracelet that says serve and create. And I
Oh,
wake up every day with just this. Okay, today, how do I serve and how do I create? And at the end of the day, I turn my bracelet over. It is a check mark. It means my work is done. So stop thinking about all these fancy marketing and throwing money on Facebook ads and blah, 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 and just start authentically helping people and transforming people's businesses and lives. We do that in our Facebook community, and we've got about 8,000 members. And every single day, people raise their hands, thank us for the value, and ask for more. That's all it takes. So stop doing what you're doing, start doing something more authentic and transparent.
Yes, and I'm going to underline and give value,
Thank
right?
you.
Which
Yes.
is what you're doing. You're giving value all the time. So I really appreciate the lesson to all of you who are listening, and I think it's a lesson well learned and well earned by Dr. Terri, who's been in this business and knows her stuff. So speaking of connecting and offering value, I know that you have a wonderful free gift for our listeners. Will you let them know what that is?
I would love to. So, what I did is I actually put together a quick training video. And this is a gift for you where I actually take you through how to add six figures to your business in 6 months, literally step by step. I give my whole process, and that's at six figs. So, it's the number six figs, FIGS, in 6months.com. And just be prepared, take notes, have a notebook, have a pen. I want you to get every juicy drop.
Ooh, I love that. Hey, I'm going to go get it. And all of you must too, because I'm telling you, Terri is a hero in our industry, a shiro, I'll call you. And truly, I'm so grateful for you being here today and delivering value as you always do.
Oh, thanks, Jill. I appreciate you. We've been on the journey together a long time, and I look forward to doing more to help each other and our audiences. We're both in it for the same reason.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Terri. And for all of you watching, I hope that this has been great value for you. I know that she's delivered so many great things. So, time to implement and execute and do the right things as she indicates in the right order. Most importantly, my friends, stay in action, stay committed, and I will see you at the next episode. All the notes are in under the chat, and we so look forward to seeing you again. Bye for now.